Hey guys, what's going on? Voice. Hey guys, what's going on? It's Daegan. You gotta love technology. I just got finished depositing a whole bunch of checks, right? Via the phone, and that's a fun and exciting experience. But what today's video is about is really just a message that I got a few days ago. So I'll explain it like this. I've helped people for a lot of years. And there's one thing that I think is the killer of their business more than anything else. And I saw the characteristics of this issue, this, let's call it situation, earlier today in one of the messages that I responded to. Now, it was from a client. I was getting them set up in our list building partnership, the Hyper Responsive List. And he said, Daegan, can you hold up on getting me set up, because I really want to make sure I have my autoresponder all set up right and just all the pieces right before I get started, because I really don't want to see a lot of unsubscribes because of X, Y, or Z. And not that unsubscribes or anything like that have to do with anything, really, in my opinion. I'll talk about that in a second. But really, the core sort of fear or anxiety I had behind that guy's message was this. It's that when people get started online, what I notice is that they tend to set up a lot of expectations and assumptions based very subjectively, right? If I do this, then I should get this result. But the problem with that is there's no data, there's nothing quantitative to back those expectations or assumptions up by. And so when a person gets started in a business and they say to themselves, this is going to be fun, this is going to be exciting, and then they go out and they do a little bit of advertising, and they have these ideas that are just kind of floating around in their head that may or may not be right, and then the reality of what they see when in terms of results does not match those expectations. What we do as humans is we tend to be negative. So we tend to say, we did something wrong, or, this didn't go right. And we get confused and our energy and emotions go down. But in reality, the moment you start to set expectations or assumptions from the ether is the moment you set yourself down the dark path to creating self-failure. What I've noticed from those that I have helped succeed to great heights is that really those are the people that have the least assumptions. They hold the least assumptions. They kind of take the attitude or the mentality of, well, let's see what happens. And they're curious to see what happens. But they never necessarily say, this is what should happen. And so what I responded to this client with was, I understand what you're trying to do, but unless you know necessarily what your unsubscribe rates should be, or what that even displays in terms of your marketing, I think you're creating a delay in terms of getting started based off of things that you're creating as if they matter without full information. And that as a psychological tool, or that as a psychological sort of drive, is one of the first things I fear in this message. And so I shot him a video, just like I'm shooting you right here, to explain this, because I never want to see a student or anyone that I train walk down the wrong path. When you're in marketing, you don't know until you know. Honestly, you don't know. So what you have to do is hold no assumptions to anything that you try until you have the experience to know how things happen from your own results. You can't really set an expectation on what those results should be. And people do that all day, every day. We all set expectations and assumptions, and you have to check yourself on that in this business if you want to succeed. Today, just try to ask yourself, if you feel negative or down or something, like something didn't go right, why? And what you'll find most often is it's attached to a result that you set as an expectation subjectively. The first thing that you should do, the first directive that you should do if you want to thrive, is let go of all of that bullshit. and simply let your results be your greatest teacher. What happens today, say, well, I wonder why that happened. How can I do better tomorrow? What can I change to get a little bit of a different result, right? And then let that help you to improve. But the most dangerous thing you can do in the world is to set expectations based off of just ideas and hopefulness, because that will only lead to failure. So just a quick thought I wanted to share with you. So get to work. That's what I'm going to do.